Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Let's get right into it. So, our host for today is already on the call. And his name is Ugochukwu John Peter. Ugochukwu John Peter is a dynamic and performance-driven.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. That was we're already live streaming on YouTube, so that was the noise from YouTube. So I'm so sorry about that. Our host for today is already on the call, like I mentioned earlier. His name is Ugochukwu John Peter. Where is my screen? Ugochukwu John Peter is a dynamic and performance-driven operations manager with over 10 years of progressive experience in port and terminal operations, with logistics and project management, with a proven track record of high-impact projects, optimizing operational workflows and enhancing team productivity. He has built a solid reputation for operational excellence across multiple ports and logistics landscapes. Currently working at the forefront of port operations, he is skilled in utilizing industry standard tools and is well versed in international port standards, vessel planning, yard management, and safety compliance. His role demands strong analytical leadership and decision-making abilities, which he applies with a deep focus on continuous improvement and results-driven execution. Can everyone hear me? I'm seeing someone says I can't hear you clearly. So we're already live streaming on YouTube in case you want to join. Please, can everyone hear me? Can you just make a reaction? Oh, okay, thank you. Throughout his career, he has consistently demonstrated an ability to lead cross-functional teams, drive measurable improvements, and uphold best-in-class standards in operational safety and performance, whether streamlining processes or managing large-scale terminal operations. It brings clarity, structure, and strategic thinking to every initiative. At Skilled for Now 2.0, which is today, Ugochukwu John Peter will be training participants on critical thinking and problem solving for workplace success and career development. This is a whole lot because employers are not just looking to higher degrees or certificates. They want solution providers, they want solution bringers, they want people who can think critically and improve performances, improve results, do a lot with less. And we'll be teaching us how to do that today. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. So Mr. Ugochukwu John Peter, you have please 40 minutes for your session, after which we take question and answer, and then the post-assessment form will be shared. Give or take, we want to end this session before 7:30 p.m. So you have just 40 minutes. Let me stop sharing my screen so you can. And let's welcome in, please. You have the floor now.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, you can share your screen now. You are a co-host.
You can all hear me, right?
Yes.
My screen.
No, we can't see your screen.
How about now?
No, there's still no screen showing. Or maybe you can send to me on WhatsApp and I do it, but there's still no screen showing.
Yes, I already sent it on WhatsApp.
Can you share? Because I'm not sharing anything right now. So you should be able to.
I'm actually using smaller device, so you can, but okay, so welcome everyone. Just looking like an awkward moment while I'm trying to share screen. Okay, just let me know what you're saying. I think it's showing now, right?
No, it is. No, it's not the screen. Okay, I think yes. Okay, we can see the screen now, but it's still.
Yeah.
Maybe we can click on one till I can.
Uh, start, start, start. Is it, can we make the class a little interactive just so that we don't have
Can you?
awkward silence? Can we make the class a little bit interactive so we don't have an awkward silence? I did.
Actually, we are waiting for your. Maybe you could send to me on WhatsApp so I can share and then the session can start.
Okay, I've sent already. So WhatsApp, you know, that's uh, oh, sorry. Sent to you on WhatsApp. It's still loading, so you know, it's done. Okay, I think it's oh, so can you see the screen now? Okay, hold on.
We can see it, but
So,
I think has it loaded to me on WhatsApp? Like, has it loaded on WhatsApp? What is sent?
Okay. Uh, can you see my screen?
Okay. Yeah. Let me just share it here because it's smaller. There, I guess you are sharing with your phone, but
Yeah, I had
I've
to
seen it on.
switch. Okay, or if you can share, I'll just stop sharing so that we don't. Is that okay by you?
Okay, you can start sharing. It's loading.
Okay, so I'll just probably will just start with the basics so that, and then while the slides come up, we just pick up from where it comes up from. Okay. All right. So my name is Ugochukwu John Peter. I prefer the two English names, just John Peter. I don't know. I like the English. I also like my African brothers too. Okay, so today and thank you first for this opportunity to share with great minds and great youths, and to be part of building your life. It's an honor. Thank you, Oyidamola, Chepas, Talk, okay, and everyone that's on this call. Okay, so let's jump right straight in. Critical thinking and problem solving. Critical thinking and problem solving. Now, what comes to your mind? It's explanatory somehow. What is critical thinking? You know, it's simply thinking outside the box. It's a systematic way of evaluating things. It's a systematic evaluation and analysis of information, ideas, data, you know. And the reason for evaluating and analyzing this data is to be able to make a judgment or a decision, to be able to take a decision, right? Critical thinking, the foundations or the pillars, the backbones of critical thinking is analyzing and evaluating, and then taking a firm decision. So someone asks you, oh, someone says, I'm a critical thinker. I'm a critical thinker. I'm critically thinking. You know, what comes to your mind, or what should come to your mind is that this person is analyzing, evaluating, and is trying to come to a decision. Right? Why critical thinking and problem solving matters at the workplace? Why is critical thinking important? Why is problem solving important? Why does it matter? One, you could write it down, or if you have your notes. One is that success in the workplace requires more than just technical skills. I'll give an example. Let's take for an electrician. You know, electrician that is skilled, and he has to. There's probably a problem. One of the wires in a socket is burnt, and this electrician is called to provide solution to this socket that is burnt. The first thing of course, he has skill. He does not just go there and say, no, Oga, we need to change the socket. Or some people are like that actually, though. We need to change the socket. No, sir. First, he has to analyze. First, he has to identify what the problem is. Then he has to analyze. Then he has to evaluate. Then he will now reach to a decision to be, okay, we have to repair this socket, or we have to change this socket. Do you see the process? So success in the workplace requires more than just technical skills. The next point is employers value employees who can think critically. Who can think critically? I just say it in pidgin. I hope that's for foreigners that are here. I'm just going to use pidgin. Say employers they value person where they think, with someone who can think critically, someone who can analyze situations, someone who can solve problems efficiently. You know, back then in school, you have the people that they call them copy and paste. God bless our educational system. You know, those people, particular people, a set of people, they can copy even your name. They just copy your name, put the full stop or the comma that the punctuation that you added to your name, they copy it and design it like that, you know. Employers do not value such kind of people. Copy and paste kind of people. You must be able to think. God has blessed every man, every woman, every child, every human being with a wonderful mind and a good brain. So these are part of the things why critical thinking and problem solving is important at the workplace. The next point is these skills contribute to career growth, leadership, and innovation. These skills contribute to career growth, leadership, and innovation. Critical thinking contributes to career growth, leadership, and innovation. If I start giving the list, calling out the list of innovations that we have, because the popular social media handles that the platform that we all use, they all came out from innovation. They all came out from critical thinkers. Somebody sat down and said, what will I do? What will I create to bridge communication, to make communication easier? And then boom, Facebook came out, WhatsApp, and etc., etc., etc. All right. So that's. Let's now define critical thinking according to the books. Critical thinking according to the books, defining critical thinking. Now, critical thinking according to the books, the ability to think clearly and rationally, understanding the logical connection between ideas. It involves analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing information to make sound, solid decisions. Now, just like I've explained and I had given us an example of the electrician, critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and rationally, to understand logical connections between ideas, you know, to be able to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information. Now, the key component of critical thinking is identification. To be able to identify the problem, to be able to identify the challenge, to be able to identify the situation, to be able to identify the root cause. Careful observation. The next key component of critical thinking is analysis. Breaking down complex ideas into simple components. The next key component of critical thinking is evaluation. Assessing the quality and relevance of information. I hope we are following. I'm trying to be as simple as possible. Then the second to last component of critical thinking is inference, drawing conclusion based on evidence. How many of us usually watch, what do you call it, all of these detective kind of movies, or movies that involve the FBI's and the CIA's? You find out that at the beginning of a crime or after a crime has been done, the CIA or the FBI will go around and start picking evidences, and then after picking pieces of this evidence, they are like puzzles. The FBI puts these puzzles together. From these pieces, a story is drawn out. That's inference. A conclusion is drawn out based on the evidence that has been found. And then that takes us to the next key component of critical thinking, reasoning. Now, reasoning simply means forming logical connection between the ideas. So these FBI quickly forms a logical connection. He said, oh, okay, so the knife was on the table on that position, and then when it fell, it changed its position facing downwards. So what force would have been applied to the knife to make it fall down facing downwards? The only force that has such power would be a human force. So you see, just like that, a story is formed. Logical connection between ideas. Now, if to match thinking against normal thinking, normal thinking is reflexive, automatic, based on past experiences, and habits. Normal thinking is also influenced by emotion and biases. Somebody will say, I'm not feeling this music. Yes, so because you're not feeling this music, you do not want to recommend the music to your colleague or to your friend or to your classmate or to your partner. So that's normal thinking. People that are led by their emotion, how they feel, past experiences. Oh, you ate chicken at KFC and the chicken was delicious. So that makes every chicken you want to buy at KFC would be delicious. Meanwhile, you forget that there are human beings that are preparing this food, and this food goes through processes. So every day will not be the same, will not give the same result. So this is comparison between critical thinking and normal thinking. All right, let's look at what problem solving is. I hope I'm not too fast. Just drop a message if you're yeah, if you're following, or if you want me to go back. I just want it to be interactive. At the same time, I just want us to understand and get something out of it. Okay, so problem solving. It's just the ability to solve problems. It's simple as that. Yeah. The ability to solve problems. There are people that are natural born problem solvers. They cannot see anything out of this. You just walk into a room and then suddenly you've accessed how the chairs are placed, how the TV is positioned, how the wallpaper is, or everything like that. You're just picking out stuff. Those people are natural born problem solvers. You can call them perfectionists. On the extreme, those people can be perfectionists. All right, problem solving. What is problem solving? Problem solving is the simple process of identifying solutions to complex or challenging issues. Identifying solutions to complex or challenging issues. So it's not just enough to identify the problem, but prefer solution to that problem, to the challenge. It involves recognizing problems, being able to spot problem, generating alternatives, and implementing solutions. So it's like I said earlier on, it's not enough to spot a problem that, oh, that TV is not properly placed. What are you going to do about it? So the solution, you'll be, okay, can you help me so that we can replace it? Or can we use a plumb to plumb it so we find a center? That's a long process if you want to do all of that. Or just simply just go and arrange the TV properly. So that's it. Being able to identify, recognize problems, generate alternatives, and implement solutions. All right, key components of problem solving is identifying, being able to see, spot, observe, generate options, have alternatives, brainstorming possible solutions. I can tell you, yeah, there are companies that pay, in fact, companies right now pay lots of money for critical thinkers and problem solvers because the problem is not making profit for over a period of time, or they hit a roadblock in one of their processes, and they're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How do we re-strategize? How do we streamline? What do we do? And then the COO or the CEO organizes a brainstorming session. Everybody sits, or the head of department sits, and then that is brought. They say, okay, so in January we made 300 million. In February we made 200 million. Why? What happened? Why did we drop? Okay, so these A and A plus B, B plus C, and that, and that, and that, and it's usually a hectic session. So brainstorming sessions are usually very busy, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So identifying problems, generating options via brainstorming sessions, evaluating the options. So weighing the pros and cons of each option, then implementing the solution. So let's go over the components again. You identify what the problem is, you generate an option or a solution, you evaluate, and then you implement. It's as simple as that. Yeah, so our next slide. Yeah, so what is the relationship between critical thinking and problem solving? These people are like boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, they're very related. And they complement each other. Because one, critical thinker or thinking helps in understanding and analyzing the problem deeply. Critical thinking helps in identifying the problem, analyzing it, understanding and analyzing it deeply. Problem solving now uses the insights that has been generated by a critical thinker or critical thinking to develop actionable solutions. So you see why I call them boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wives. So they complement each other. Critical thinker identifies, analyzes, evaluates, while the problem solver uses the data that's been generated by the critical thinker to to produce actionable solutions. Now, both skills are essential for navigating workplace challenges and making self-informed decisions. And making well-informed decisions. Both skills are essential. They complement each other. They go hand in hand. So you cannot be a critical thinker and not be a problem solver. That's, I don't know. But they both work hand in hand. All right, so that takes us to our next slide. Steps in critical thinking. Seriously, at this point, we all know, with all these examples that I have given, I'm sure we should be able to actually close your eyes and just list the steps that we have in critical thinking. First, number one step is clarify the problem. Identify. This involves understanding what is being asked or what the issue is. Somebody when two people are fighting, and there is a heated argument, and then it resulted to fight, and people are fighting. And then somebody, a peacemaker, comes and say, make una calm down. Waiting be the matter. What is the problem? Identify and clarify the problem. Then you gather information. Immediately you ask that problem, you ask that question. Sorry, I'm going to use, sorry, ladies, I'm going to use Mrs. A and Mrs. B. So Mrs. A is saying, Mrs. B is talking. You can't get anything. Then you now say, Mrs. B, calm down. Mrs. A, what happened? Mrs. A will not talk. And once Mrs. A finishes, you say, okay, Mrs. B, now it's your turn. Tell us what happened. And so you gather information. Remember, you collect relevant data and perspective, because Mrs. A can go all the way to talk about how she went to the market. Before she went to the market, she went to take her bath. While she was taking her bath, she had to change her clothes. And after changing her clothes, she came back. She had to do some makeup. And then the makeup was not looking so very fine. And then she was, relevant data and perspective. Yeah, so the next point is identify assumptions. So be able to recognize biases and preconceived ideas. Now, I will use that same example I used for Mrs. A. So imagine Mrs. A, after all the whole story,
Sorry
Mrs.
to
A now said,
interrupt you, sir, just a bit. Sorry to interrupt. We have 20 minutes more.
okay, so I'll
20
just...
7 is round up, and then I really want us to get to that part of the game where you showed me. I think it will really be cool. So just to let you know.
All right. So I'll just run. But you, okay, so be able to recognize biases and preconceived ideas. You know, Mrs. A can have a preconceived idea about Mrs. B before the problem. So be able to identify. Next thing is reach conclusion, formulate a well-reasoned conclusion, settle the problem. The next point is evaluate evidence. Don't just swallow every evidence that comes your way. Communicate and apply. Share findings and implement actions. They're all self-explanatory, and then I think our organizers too would share the slides much later so that you don't miss anything. Okay, so steps in problem solving. Define the problem, generate possible solutions, evaluate these solutions, select the best solution, implement the best solution, monitor this best solution, and adjust where necessary. Okay. If you're taking notes, I'll just go over it again. Define the problem, generate possible solution, evaluate solution, select the best solution, implement the best solution, monitor the best solution, and adjust where necessary. All right, so critical thinking and problem solving in the workplace. From all of the examples that I've been given, I think we should be able to have a picture of what is required, you know, an idea, scenario, a good scenario of critical thinking and problem solving at the workplace. It is used in decision making. One, while these skills are crucial for your career, is important for decision making. It leads to better decision making in the workplace. An example is in my office. I work in a fast-paced environment. The terminal, for example, container terminal. Everything is moving. Machine, human beings, AI, everything is working. And then we're working for one goal, to make sure that, okay, so it's a supply chain and logistics industry also, to make sure that a cargo is discharged and the cargo goes through all the processes and the cargo arrives, is either stored or is make sure that the owner comes to get it. It's as simple as that, but in a large scale, like seaport. Okay, so critical thinking and problem solving helps in decision making. We use lots of data. Leadership. Problem solving helps leaders overcome obstacles and guide teams. This example I gave about Mrs. A and Mrs. B fighting they can be in the same department and they have biases against each other, but you must work with them. You must settle their differences. Critical thinking and problem solving will help you do that. Okay, so adaptability. Critical thinking allows you to adapt to changes. Innovation. Critical thinking enables you to think outside the box, think new things. All right. So these are why these skills are crucial for your career. Now, benefits of critical thinking and problem solving for your career growth is it improves your job performance. I tell you, if you were not thinking critically before, try it. Go back to your workplace tomorrow and take those problems that's been bothering your office or your department or your unit and just think about it. Profile solution. Do a proposal. Send it to your boss. If your boss does not love you. So it improves job performance, career advancement, workplace relationship. Imagine if everybody in the office knows that this guy is a problem solver. Whatever problem you bring to him, he will solve it. All right. So how to develop these skills? Practice reflection. Critical thinking is very easy. Don't be quick to jump into conclusion or into action. Practice reflection. Regularly reflect on your decisions and their outcomes. Engage in challenging conversation. Don't just argue about football for the guys. And then how Man U and Chelsea and come on, those guys are making their money. I love football, but challenging conversations that would complex topics that would help you broaden your perspective. Solve problem. Don't run away from challenge. Don't be like, consign me. No. When you're faced with a challenge, try to solve it. Solve problems. Solve another problem. Then seek feedback. Even if you were not able to solve the problem, seek feedback. Try again. Don't give up. All right. What are the tools and resources for enhancing your critical thinking? Number one tool is consistent rehearsal. This thing is not one time something. It's not you not solve problem today and you run away. No. To solve this problem, you move on. You move to the next level. Solve. So consistent rehearsals. Right? Refined delivery style. So every time a feedback comes, refine, you make some changes, and you jump in again. Timing and transition. Always know when to jump in. Always know when to make that decision. Always know when to present. Practice audience. Enlist your colleagues, your co-workers, your partners, your friends. Let them listen to you. Let them hear you speak or provide solution and then get feedbacks from them. All right, so so I'll just run it up. Seek feedback, reflect on performance, explore new techniques, set personal goals, iterate again, and adapt. All right, that brings us to the end for this course. Now it's time for question and answer. But before that, I want us to play a game first because we don't have so much time. You would see a picture so that after the game, then we can ask questions. You'd see a picture A. Now, find the odd thing in this picture. I don't know. We can divide into groups, but if that's not possible, no problem. Just
Okay, so because of time and all, I'll just enable people to unmute and be able to. So just raise your hand if you want to speak. And I would have enabled everyone to unmute, but it's going to be crowded because everyone wants to speak at the same time. So the thing is, find the odd thing in this picture. If you want to speak, please raise your hand, and then I will request that you unmute.
Okay, so look at it. Remember all the principles, components we've learned about critical thinking and problem solving. Be able to identify. And I'm giving you expo. I'm not talking again. Okay, so just look at it. Find the odd thing in picture A.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Algochuku, for the insightful presentation. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much. It was very impactful. Okay, so from picture A, I was able to picture out one. I think the rechargeable fan on the floor is what I'm able to picture out. There may be more to it, but for now, I think that's the odd one out. The rechargeable fan on the floor. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Gloria. From this picture, Absad have said one of the observation I observed. Then the second one is that where the light is, the position where the light is, that is that light that hung on the wall, right? I think the position where it's reflecting on, it's supposed to be close to where the seat is, where if the person sitting on the seat would want to write something. But I could see that the seat and the light is not really, they are not exactly, they are not sitting proportionate. Yes, something like that. And also I could see some, is it insects around the floor? Yes, that's thank you.
All right, Glory, that's a good one. Okay, guys, just feel free. Look at the picture. Zoom out, zoom in. Just
Okay. Hello. Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Stop it now.
Yes. Okay. Just like the two people have said earlier, there are insects there about the flower area. Yeah. So there could be that somebody ate something and left crumbs on the ground for those insects to find their way and we're looking for the crumbs. Okay. So maybe sweeping the room would help remove the insects. And then the fan on the floor should not be on the floor. Should be on the table as well, in such a way that the person that will be attending or using that computer set there should be making use of the fan.
Okay.
I think that's what I've observed, and maybe possible solutions to what is
wonderful. That's wonderful. Like with the solutions. Okay, one more person, then we go to the next.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, the problem I can see with this is that everywhere is bright. It's a sunny day, and the light on the wall, the lamp on the wall, is on when there is no need for it to be on.
Where did you think of this? But wonderful, wonderful. So the solution should be hello, have you run up the solution to the light and this brightness?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me, please?
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Namoko Emmanuel, and thank you for this privilege to speak. First of all, I want to provide solution and then ask a question. Number one, my solution provision for this office is that there should be orderliness in office setting. And one of these orderliness should be that the receptionist or the executive assistant who is assisting this person in this office should be able to
Mr.
take
Emmanuel, we
cognizance of.
can't hear you. Can we just maybe move to the next game then? Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, just
Yes.
okay, Emmanuel, just summarize. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, right. I said there should be orderliness. Number one, the fan should be on the table, connected to the light to be charged. Number two is that the lightning should be off. It shouldn't be on until when it is needed. Number three is that the room should be properly swept and mopped. These are my solution provision. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Emmanuel. So quickly,
Okay.
just
Would you provide answer for this game, or we just move to the next? I should just move to the next game, and you say both together. What do you think,
yeah, let's
sir?
go to the next game. So I'll say both together.
Okay. Yeah. So if you've not
Okay,
spoken
so
before, you can speak now.
yes, if you've not spoken before, you can speak. The odd. Anyone?
Anyone who is speaking? Is there no one to speak? Was the odd one out in this second picture? I've asked you to unmute Obusayo, Rachel, you've been raising your hand. I've asked you
Good
to
evening.
unmute, so check.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can hear you, Rachel.
Good evening, Sam. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So very quickly from this picture, I can see that the system light is very bright, and then there's also a lamp that is under, and the place is already bright. So I don't think the lamp is needed at this time of the day. Also,
Okay.
there's also
Good
something.
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. So first and foremost, I just noticed the office is too clumsy. One, the flower that is on the table isn't supposed to be there, rather it's supposed to be on the other side of the entrance. And then the shelves, the books are not properly arranged. And then that's the books on the table should join the ones on the shelf. And there's this is it an arc that is that like a speaker, something like that is like a speaker. I don't know what the name is. In the first place, it's not supposed to be on the table. Okay, because it's having lights, it shouldn't be on the table, rather it should be beside the table, and then something should aid it so the lights can function properly when the person is making use of the laptop or trying to write in situations where the place is dark. Thank you very much.
Okay, one last person. Just
Okay, hello everyone. This very office is just too scattered. It's just there's no organization. Yes, there's no organization. Okay, the flower vase is not supposed to be on the table, and this very chair, this chair is not fit for this for this setting because this is not an office chair. So you can't really walk and balance with this very chair. And the shelf also, the books they are not really arranged.
I like this game.
The clock, sorry, globe on the table. This globe is too big.
This is not a globe. It's not too big for this very table, right? Then we have this thing standing on it, like I don't know what is it. Table is just too much. There are so many things on the table. Many things on the table that is not supposed to be on the table. And I don't know how the office space is, because I could see, is it the roof? It's just somebody cannot really stand very well on the office, because the roof is the ground. Everything is just
All right. First, I think this office is not an office. It is located at the attic of the building, and that chair is not good for an office setting. Then there is an ant on the table. It's not supposed to be there.
Very wonderful. You have good eye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
and there is
Let's
ant
bring.
on the bottom.
Yeah. Did anyone see the snake on the floor?
Yeah, I
It's
saw
dark.
it.
You didn't spot it.
Many people didn't spot the snake, I
Close
think.
to the book
I
and the
mean,
flower.
Zoom very well. You see a snake on the floor.
Yeah,
So
beside the drawer.
exactly, how can somebody stay inside this attic? So it's not just identifying the problem, it's also profiling solution, evaluating, analyzing, profiling solution, thinking logically, having clear solution at some point. And you guys have done awesome. You were able to spot what is odd, what's not supposed to be there, and most of you went ahead to prefer solution to most of the challenges that were spotted. That's good. Somebody can just say, is it not office? It's just attic, and just chill there. That's the normal thinking. People say, is it not fine office? It's painted white. Hey, it's looking beautiful, and that's it. But the person wouldn't go ahead to think and spot, why is these things here? Why is there an ant in a white painted, fully furnished office? So this is awesome. You get the you get the idea of what critical thinking means, and then you went step ahead to also prefer solution, that is problem solving. Right. So thank you, everyone. Now there is a second game, but it's going to take
thank you so
much
much, sir, for
time.
the insightful session.
So you were saying something?
It's time for question and answer. So everyone can speak now, please, but please let it be orderly. When someone is speaking, don't speak, and unmute yourself if you are not speaking, please. So everyone can unmute themselves now. I've made it so that everyone. So please, it's time for questions, and soon we'll be sharing the post assessment form in the group. So please ask your questions now. Start asking your questions, please. So unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Okay, good evening, ma. Thank you so much. Please, I want him to reiterate that the steps for critical thinking. I missed out on that one. Let him please emphasize on it more. The steps, or if it's possible for him to list it out so that I can jot it down. Thank you so much.
Did anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can hear you.
So you want the steps, yeah?
Yes, sir. If possible, to elaborate more on it.
Okay.
I think the slide will be shared, so you can go to it. Also.
Yeah. Okay. Just hold that. Any other questions so that probably a second person or
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for the class. It was really a good one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You're welcome.
Yes, I have two questions. The first question is this critical thinking. You know, it's not everybody that has that ability to think that and like that, to think far like that. So I want to ask, this critical thinking, can it be taught, or is something that is in you, like the natural ability? So the second question is this assuming you pick assuming you identify a problem, how will you know that this problem that you have identified will be? That means how will it be? That means if you know that if this particular problem is going to be effective, because you don't know from the beginning, you don't know the beginning from the end. So I don't know if you understand. Like this problem you identify, is it going to be effective? How will you know that this problem you have identified is going to be effective after you have evaluated and everything to come to your conclusion? So I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Okay. So if I understand you, first you asked if critical thinking and problem solving is inbuilt, can it be learned, can it be caught? Yes, it can be learned and it can be caught. And it's also, there are folks that are born naturally that are thinkers. I don't know. They are natural thinkers. They will not agree. If you tell them this is black, they will not agree. They would question every thing that you tell them. Those people are natural thinkers. But yes, you can learn to be a critical thinker. I listed the steps. All you need to do is start reflecting. Do not be quick to make decisions. Okay, so let's assume you want to buy a black shoe. All right, so you don't just go to the market and just look for any black shoe and just go and buy. What kind of black shoe are you looking for? Are you looking for a leather type of black shoe? What kind of leather do you want? Do you want the type you would wear and then it will get soaked in rain and then it will get spoiled? Do you want it to last? Do you want it to be beautiful? So it's simply asking, reflection is you ask the questions and then you answer it yourself. So, but it's something you do with time. And then once you do it, you repeat. So it's not just a one-time something. When you do it, you repeat. Consistency quickly turns you into a critical thinker. It's the same thing in your workplace. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, there are some situations whereby a patient will be true to you. Because I think the last time I attended an interview, they asked me a question that how can you make students think out of the box? So I was like, how did I start? So I don't know if you understand, because you are really, really tough for me. That
okay.
Make students think out of the box. I was like, dumb. Like, and at that time, you cannot be able to, because I was giving time to. So I was like,
okay, so how do you make a student think outside the box? It's simple. If you give a student an assignment or a homework, you give them an order. Do not look at your textbooks. Do not look at your notebooks. Just tell me what you think about it. What is the first thing that comes to your mind about this question or about this assignment or about this homework? That way, the student doesn't have to go and start looking for, after reading. They just think. It's simple. I just say, okay, why is this chair black? Or why is this, just like the pictures I sent. When I sent the picture, I didn't tell you guys, okay, I just said, just tell me what is the odd thing. And some people went forward to tell me the problem and even tell me the solution. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, there is something I actually wanted you guys to spot in the pictures. And it was just the spiders and the ants. That's all. So critical thinking is not rocket science. It's very easy. It's just the ability to just don't rush into, don't be the first to speak. Don't be even when they ask you in an interview. Yes, you have time. If you're afraid, if you're scared that your time will be exhausted, just tell them, can you give me some time to think about it? Be confident to ask them for time. And if it's not, if you're not in the position to ask for more time, you just think, what comes to your mind when you hear the word problem solving? Problem, solve, in, problem, solve, in, like that, just think, just, I don't know, it's easy for me, so but you understand what I'm trying to explain, right?
Exactly, sir. Thank you. So the second question, sir.
Sorry, sir, please, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I want to ask.
Your line is breaking.
Sorry, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to ask, like, what's the difference between being a critical thinker and overthinker? Like, in some situation you overthink stuff. Is it like, how does it relate being a critical thinker and overthinker? Thank you for that.
Okay, so overthinking is worrying, actually. It's okay, so the difference is a critical thinker has a solution. You are thinking, you have a goal. You're thinking for a goal, you have a path, you have a goal in mind, you have a product, you have where you are headed to, you have a destination. But an overthinker does not have a destination. It's should we, what if this, what if that? The brain is running through, the mind is doing like that. And then before you know, fear, worry, anxiety, all those things, what ifs, the questions with a lot of what ifs. So that's for an overthinker. I hope that answers your question.
Sorry, sir. So my question is, are all critical thinkers major in that field to which they are profiling solution to? Like for all critical thinkers, do they need to be major or specialized in that field to which they are profiling solution to?
No.
Can okay.
No, not really. You don't have to be a major in the particular field, but for career purposes, for career growth, you have to be a major specialist. For example, I've been in the operations settings for a long time. Okay, so I've worked with multiple personalities, multiple teams. So the what do you call it? Because I'm a specialist, it's because I'm a specialist, I'm a critical thinker, and it's easy for me, like, so, but I can also provide solution to other units or other departments or other sectors. So it's not necessarily because I'm a specialist in one area, I cannot provide solution to the other area. Okay, so, but for career purposes, for my job, I'm a specialist, and then I'm also critical thinker in that area. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, good evening, sir. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So my question is, given that one is a critical thinker, everybody will expect
please let me just put.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay, somebody was talking.
Okay, I was saying that as a critical thinker, the expectations from you will be more of, okay, you are someone that solves problems, that you evaluate, you analyze problems and provide solutions. Is it possible for like pressures from that expectation to come and you like face like blocks? And if it's possible for such blocks to occur, what can you do so that you can overcome them? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, I hate to break it to you, there is pressure. Pressures do come. I'll take my job for example. There are dissatisfied customers. There are teams that are not working, meeting targets or working optimally. There are machines that usually break down. There are pressures. There are targets. There are goals. There are KPIs that you have to meet. Sometimes, it looks like you want to. But critical thinking is not just it's not devoid of pressures or challenges. Those pressures will be there, but your ability to reflect. That's why, you see, one of the ways on how to practice, or one of the tools, is reflection. Zoning out from being able to be in this room and not be in this room. Do you understand? Being able to zone out from the noise. Pressure comes from words. They say, your manager is like, what have you been doing? We must achieve this, and blah, 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 blah. And just say, sir. Sometimes you don't even need to just say, sir, just give me some time. I'll come up with it. Or there are different things that work for different people, So just look for what works for you. Maybe listen to music or just something to just calm your nerves. But thinking, to be able to think, you need to be in a calm state of mind. If you're not in a calm state of mind, if you're not able to zone out, remain calm, you can't think. It's the same thing with being faced with a danger or an impending crisis. Suddenly there are three things that comes to your mind: fight or flight. But if you're running away, if you're running away, you have to think, am I running to the danger or am I running away from the danger? So that's why panic kills faster than the actual danger, panic and fear, because the fire, there's something happening there. People are running from, and somebody that doesn't even know anything about it is running towards where the problem is. Instead of to stop, observe. Where are people running from? What are they running from? Somebody will say, I know somebody is saying in his mind, before I stay and think about that one, the fire would have burnt everything. No, it pays to be calm and think. All right, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Okay, so any other question?
Any other question, guys? Any other questions? The pre-assessment form is being shared in both sessions, so please fill it. In the meantime, please, before our speaker goes, let's take a picture like we always do. So everyone put on your camera and let's quickly take a picture. Everyone put on your camera and let's quickly take a picture. Yes. So let me do grid view. Gallery.
Didn't say cheese.
So I'm taking the picture, so please take it on your camera. Stay calm. I'm taking the picture. Stay calm. I'm taking the picture. And there are different slides.
Everyone's face is so serious.
Thank you so much. So you can put off your camera now. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Is there any question before he goes? Because he's leaving now and the form is being shared. In
Please, ma, I have one more question for him, please.
Okay, you can ask.
Okay, so I want to know, in the process of critical thinking and also profiling solution, are there any scenario whereby after carefully analyzing the problem and profiling solution, the problem one profile goes wrong? Like, are there always 100% success factor rate, or does it go wrong at times?
Okay, so because critical thinking involves the use of data, information, and ideas. If at the beginning of identifying or observing this or gathering this information or data, one information is wrong, then the whole process will be flawed. It's like coding. I don't know if there's anyone who programs here. It's like programming. Once you're writing codes and then you forget to put a hyphen or a parenthesis, you have to go back and look for where the missing link is. So integrity of data, integrity of information. So the information from analyzing, evaluating, and from identifying, analyzing, and evaluating, you should be able to spot that this information is real, has some level of integrity. Then your success rate, because your ratio of how sure you are with your information is equal to how successful your solution would be. So does that answer your question?
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, everyone. Sorry,
Okay,
I
thank
have
you
to.
so much, sir. So please unmute your mic and say thank you, sir, for the brilliant session. Just say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was
Thank
really
you.
an impact.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
sir.
the presentation.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you. So please, the
Thank you,
post-assessment form
sir.
has been shared.
Are
Has
we
been
through with the
shared
selfie?
in the. Yes, we are done with the selfie. Please, you can put on your camera. Right?
Thank
Mention that.
you, sir.
Mention that. So please, if you've not filled the form, I'll be on the meeting to. This is 7:25. Please, if you fill the post-assessment form, please you can leave. If you've not filled it, I've shared the link again in the chat. So go and fill it. This meeting will be
All
open
right,
for the
thank
next
you.
5 minutes.
Having
I'll be
us.
on the
We are
call.
grateful. Thank you.
It's gone
God
now.
bless
So
you.
please, I'll be on the call till 7:30 p.m., which is in 5 minutes more. So please fill the assessment if you've not filled it. I've shared it again and again. Once it's 7:30 p.m., it is closing. In the meantime, we are done. Please, thank you so much for coming. Thank you.